Well, big up, big up, big up. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And hopefully everyone is well out there. We are going to be doing a preview show, but also dealing with some breaking news, some news that I think a lot of us aren't really happy to hear. News that we're hoping doesn't turn out to be the way that it's looking like it is going to turn out to be. And it's kind of upsetting. But we've got one of those things where it's one of those days you open up your phone and you see Robbo the Spurs, and you're like, okay, first it was Curtis Jones, all right, and now it's Robbo the Spurs. 5 minutes later, it's Slot expects no signings, and then it's Salah's future, speculation, and then top all of that, we've got Bournemouth away, which is either the perfect game to build momentum or the exact kind of game where Liverpool reminds you you're not allowed to enjoy your weekend. So we will see what the plan is for this weekend, along with the plan for tonight. And the plan for tonight is we'll start with the breaking news about Robbo, Tottenham contracts, and what Liverpool do next. We're going to talk about Slot's press conference, injuries, January stance, style, the clean sheet trend. Then we will hit the transfer live board. Basically, Diomande, Elliott, Salah, Van de Ven, the whole circus is in town for that one. And we finish with the feature, which is the Bournemouth versus Liverpool game. That's the one we're going to preview and bring out a little something for everyone with the intensity, obviously, the tactics, key stats, predicted 11, score predictions, all that fun jazz. Shout out to Norm, and shout out to Lee, and shout out to Dustin, legend himself. Big up, big up. Well, let's just get into this real quick. I don't currently have a panel here, so you're my panel with me. And that is, so while Liverpool are holding transfer negotiations or discussions right now with Tottenham regarding Andy Robertson, the next move after a potential departure is becoming pretty obvious, I think. And that's the part that should make every Liverpool fan, I think, at least ones that do care about the loyalty and all this stuff about it and everything else about, for the badge, and I'm all about the team and I'm about the club. Those people should stand up right now, or sit up at least, because this isn't just a player linked away. This is our vice captain. This is a player who has been a foundational piece of the modern era of this team. And someone whose deal is running out at the end of the season. I know that there was time and places that we're going to have to discuss, whether he was going to be a part of the immediate future. But it never seemed as though we would be trying to jettison him off 6 months into, or 6 months, or into this new year, or halfway through a new campaign. And here's the tension also. Shout out Alexander, big up, big up. Shout out Lee Wiskid. I think I said hello, but just in case I didn't. I would say here's the tension. Liverpool are publicly saying, quiet window. Slot's basically telling you he expects no arrivals. But privately, we're hearing early stage negotiations to offload players like Robbo. We're hearing Curtis Jones, the scouser in the team, being spoken about as if he might be a move away from our club. And the club's position is logical on paper. I get it. They're unlikely to sanction his exit if it leaves them short in that role, you would think. Except this. It might not leave them short, because the squad planning has already been, in motion, I would call it. Robbo has now been displaced by Milos Kerkez as the preferred left back choice. Now, whether you're with me or not on how that migration had to happen is one thing or another. I don't really believe that we went about it the right way, but fortunately, we're starting to see returns from Milos Kerkez, and despite that, I think it hurt us in the beginning, but now here we are. 22 years old, player that's starting to show some promise for us. It enters the Simicast loan to Roma. Last summer, it was what we thought would be maybe his movement from the club and onto a nice club for him to continue his career with. And that usually, to me, said basically the club saying Kirk has the present and the future, and we're rebalancing the depth chart. But the depth is a real question. And I know a lot of you must have that as a question that you are wondering as to what the heck is going on. And that's a real big question. Because if ROBBO goes, what's the counter? The obvious option is recalling Costa Simicast from Roma, which is literally spelled out in the logic of the situation, because that's not a clean solution, but Simicast has had a challenging spell, if you want to call it that, in Italy. He's had limited starts. He's had inconsistent rhythm. And if you bring him back, you're not bringing back peak Costas. You're not bringing back peak Greek Scouser. You're bringing back a player who needs minutes to rebuild his form and get to a level that is necessary in the Premier League. And then there's the human layer. Simicast talking about how missing Liverpool, calling himself the Greek Scouser, saying Merseyside has a special place in his heart. That is real. That is certainly real. But now here we are wondering, where do we draw the line with being sentimental? So if we want to be sentimental, seeing possibly one of the most arguably Liverpool-esque type players that remains on our team be ushered out the door mid-season is strange. You don't sell a leader unless you're 100% sure the replacement ecosystem is stable. And I don't know if it is. I don't know if it is. Shout out to Dara. Shout out to Cedric. Big up to Cedric. Shout out to Hylor. Big up to all of you joining us. Look, Robbo's own comments earlier this month matter, I think. And this is just me speaking to you out there in the audience, and if you're listening to the replay, big up to you as well. Robbo said basically, I've got months left. We've talked. Nothing is decided. And I need to sit with my family and choose the next step. That's honest. But that's always been honesty that we expected from our vice captain. That's always what we've expected. Could be for some a warning. But, big up Sheba, by the way. Big up Sheba. It could be a warning. Because Tottenham reportedly are trying to move Burley rather than wait for him in the summer. And from their perspective, it's obvious. You've got a proven Premier League left back, a mentality monster, I think, a leader, certainly, someone that wants to get into form, get real minutes before World Cup comes along. And you're not paying the full premium of a long-term contract situation because the deal is expiring. You're going to get him for a reduced fee of that. So you bite the bullet and you go with bringing in the player that you're planning on bringing in for another year after that anyway. But from our side, at least from the perspective I'm seeing it, it can get pretty ugly. If Slot expects a quiet window and you still entertain selling Robbo, you're basically saying we trust Kirkes as the starter. We'll backfill with a recall if needed in Simicast. We'd rather avoid losing Robbo for nothing in summer. We're willing to absorb the leadership loss for squad shape, and most notably, in my opinion, we are willing to take a chance that Kirkes will remain, knock on wood, injury-free for the entire season. Because that's a big if for any player. Because that is where we're at. Some might even say that the biggest question in all of it is that does this weaken Liverpool this season for us going for the top four? Because that's where we're left. We're not going for the title any longer. We're going for top four. And you might say that because if you're already walking a tightrope with center back depth, injuries, and squad, removing a senior figure is a huge, huge gamble. This is why the club hasn't reached a final verdict, most likely, but why we are on edge right now, wondering what direction is this club going. They're weighing football logic versus season objectives versus possibly even contract realities. I don't understand exactly what a lot of this is being. And it goes against a lot of the different stances that you're taking. Some might say, oh, we don't get rid of coaches mid-season, but yet we're going to get rid of valuable players, valuable voices in our locker room mid-season and possibly deplete our depth at that position. We're not talking about some random. We're talking about ROBBO. It's a weird case. It's a weird case. But I mean, I'd love to know what you guys are feeling about it. I see some of you are putting some comments in chat here. Is the Indian Scouser with us? I didn't see him chime in. Let me see. Is the Indian Scouser here? I didn't see him chime in. That's my guy out in Thailand. Out in Thailand. Let me see some of your comments. Robbo is gone. His personal terms with Tottenham is already settled, and the deal is in the closing chapters. Yeah, I mean, it depends. It's not a done deal until all three parties make it a done deal. But I get what you're saying. Hi, Lord. We'll talk about Trent Alexander. We'll definitely talk about Trent later on in the show. Let's see. That'd be interesting, Lee, if Richard Hughes would speak to the press. I don't think that he will, to tell you the truth. I don't think that Richard Hughes will speak to the press. I don't know how press resistant he is in the sense of how press savvy, I should say, he is. But I don't know if he would or wouldn't. But yeah, I would love to see him and even Edwards maybe even speak on to understand exactly what it is what it is this new sense because I know that some people were really, really pushing for Edwards and not necessarily Hughes because no one knew exactly what Hughes was going to bring to our team. But Hughes was supposed to be another, was almost like a prodigy of Hughes of Edwards, excuse me. Anyway, so and I know a lot of people were pressing and pushing for this whole like, well, let's get Edwards in and it'll be cutthroat and there'll be no real like we'll get the players in and we'll get the right players in. And when they got to leave, we'll get the most for them. We'll get them out of here. This is the world we're living in right now. The world we're living in. High Lord thinks we're becoming a heartless plastic club. You'll never walk alone. Not going to say that, but seems like the only one with values left at this club are the fans. Quite possibly, quite possibly. I know you have values, and I have values too that are very much aligned with each other. We're going to need to buy about 10 players in the summer, says Sheba. You quite possibly might see that be the case. No, I'm not doing that. Hi, Laura. I'm not going to put that out into the universe. Cedric thinks Robbo going earlier than predicted signifies troubles behind the scenes. I think that could be the case. I agree with you on that one, Cedric. I agree with you on that. I think Robbo might be signifying that there's more upheaval in the locker room than maybe some are letting on. Because if he would be even remotely willing to go to Spurs to get playing time and to get and to leave the team mid season after becoming our vice captain, it would seem like maybe there is something bigger behind the scenes. Alexander says with Robbo, he should leave on his own terms. No underhanded tactics. Agree with that. I think he's definitely deserves that. I think he definitely deserves to leave on his own accord. Lee thinks Robbo wouldn't do this unless he was really unhappy. If that's, I don't know what that means. If that's slot, then I don't. You have to explain your statement a little bit more. It might not be trouble inside the club, but to him, this is Hylor speaking. The infestation of rot have been visible for a while. Sheba thinks Robbo just wants to play. It is what it is. It does. A lot of it doesn't make sense. A lot of it really doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. And I know for myself, I'm a big Robbo fan. I was supporting him even when the chips were down. I was still backing that he could put things together and make things right. And I just think that because he's been through many a storm with us, and I also thought because the player certainly plays for the badge. He definitely really loves being a Liverpool Red, and he has become one of the inner fabrics of this club, I think. And again, it's just another player being. It's like slowly but surely, or I'm just like watching this story of people tearing out the fabric or the strands that make up the fabric that is Liverpool, to me at least. I understand change is inevitable. Players will go, they will come and go. We get that, We'll find replacements. Liverpool will be there even after the players are no longer with it. but it still matters to me when you see a lot of a lot of the essence and the roots and the established understanding of what of players that have given so much to this club. Um, the direction that we've seen a lot of their interactions with management and with their treatment before their exits, whether it's Henderson, whether it's Bobby, whether it was um, heck, whether it was Lucho or Nunez, or whether it's been um, uh, currently right now the talks of ROBBO or maybe even Salah leaving the team. The way that Mane left, Mane wanted a different challenge, but maybe it's because the challenge here at Liverpool wasn't accommodating him any longer. Um, it can be difficult to really stomach, I think, and it's something of a concern for me. I think it's something of a recognition of a concern for you out there too. From what I'm reading, um, it's not looking good. It's not looking like you're on board with this move. Um, let's see. He did know he was gonna be it was gonna be asked. He said, but let's see, both respect and understood it. But going to Tottenham halfway through a season with defensive problems at our club is so wrong at so many levels. I agree on that one, Highlore. We used to have players who wanted to be part of the club, even if they're a bit part as they get older. But now the mentality is if they don't steward, they start packing their bags. Okay. Um, this sends so many wrong signals, which confirms that our values, the foundation for why he, being High Lord, is a fan, is under attack. It's tough to read a lot of that. It's really tough to. Oh, we don't start. I got you. Okay. So, but now the mentality is if they don't start, they start packing their bags. I got you. I got you. I got you. Um, oh, it's unforgivable from the club, whatever the way it pans out. I think it would be. I just, I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't even know. It's not like whatever the number is that we're about to receive as compensation for this transfer. I don't know if anyone out there has a number that's been circulating as to what the number would be, but whatever it is, I am more than willing to wager that it is not a number that is substantial. It is not a number that is going to make a difference in whether we make a move for another player or not, or if we can make moves in January, or we make even moves in the summer. I bet you this money that comes in for him is not going to be needle moving when it um, comes to the player, and that's why I think of like, is it worth it? For me, I rather just for me, I rather just say, yeah, just eat the money, just eat the money. What are you going to do with 5 million, 10 million in this market? Not saying that's a lot of money for a lot of us, but what I am saying is that is pennies on the dollar for others in the football world. And it's a question. It's a real question. So I'm hoping that we get some more clarity. Excuse me. I'm hoping we get some more clarity with this soon. I don't understand why the timing for this is absolutely horrific. the timing is absolutely horrific. For it to be right now, and then for it to be right after us coming back from France, and we get this announcement. That's kind of a gut punch. Kind of a gut punch. We got the Scouser in the house. Got Lee joining
Hi,
us,
folks. Hello.
and yeah, I've just been going on a little bit about some of this. I think of it as being sad news, to be honest with you.
What, Robbo?
Yeah.
I do, yeah. If he feels he needs to go because it's like World Cup year and he needs to play, because he has been playing less of late, because Kirk has really settled in of late and starting to show that he is Robbo's replacement. But then I think we'd have to bring Simi back as cover, wouldn't we? Which we could do.
Would you rather have Simicast as cover, or would you rather have Robbo as cover?
I'd rather have Robbo as cover. But this is the thing with Robbo's been great for us, like, hasn't he? And he's never, he's never let up. He always gives his absolute all. But I would understand, as much as I want him to stay, I would understand if he left because of his international. He's Scotland captain as well. With Scotland, Robbo's like a big fish in a small pond. There aren't that many big players in the Scotland squad that play for big clubs, very few. And Robbo is one of them. And maybe he's thinking in those terms that I've got to, you know what I mean? I've got to play and then I've got to lead my country. I really want him to stay, though, because he's such a good lad in the background and that. And he's like Virgil. He leads by example. He leads by making maximum effort, like, every time he steps on the pitch. He's that type of leader.
I get that the error of having a player be brought into a club and then seeing that player ride off into the sunset with the club, is pretty much non-existent. I get that. Very, very seldom are you going to see a player that, you're going to have he's a player that was in the youth academy and he got his big chance and he started to play for a senior club. Now he's retiring, and now he's going to move on to become, maybe an ambassador for the club or something like that.
It'd leave a gap. It'd leave a hole in the squad. Sadly, I mean, can you? I know what I was going to say then. Can you remember before we got Robbo, the problems we had finding a left back? We've been through loads.
Absolutely.
Moreno cost quite a few bob, didn't work. We had Jose Enrique. We had so many, mate. We tried so many left backs, and then finally we got Robbo for £8 million.
Yeah, which was a gem, like a diamond in the rough.
Oh yeah, it's been a great partnership, a great relationship between the two, between the club and Robbo. I really hope he stays, that it doesn't come to fruition, and he is able to get enough game time to satisfy him.
Why can't we just work out a deal to give him Simicast?
I thought he'd be happy to play back up, but the thing is, lately, Kirkas is playing all the minutes, isn't he? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, Simicast was willing to go to Italy, and if he wants to come home to England, I mean, you can go to London. All respect due. If I had to make a choice between the two. Oh man, this doesn't sit right, to be honest with you, with me at all.
We could have done without this right now, couldn't we? Could have done without this hullabaloo right now.
Yeah. That's the thing, is that it's like the wrong timing. It feels like the worst timing of anything to happen. Like right now, why are we talking? Like, we're almost through the January window. We're not bringing in any. It doesn't make sense. Here's a club that so many of the fan base is begging for our team or our club to have additions brought in this window, whether it's center half additions, whether it's a DM addition, whether it's forward additions. So many of us are clamoring for additions. Some have even said maybe bringing an extra right back. Okay. And here we are about to jettison off our left back, legend of the club, a legend with the club, I should say, our vice captain. It just doesn't sit right. It just doesn't sit right. And it's a tough pill to swallow because it does make me there was something in the chat speaking on the fact of maybe this screams louder that there might be something. I'm not an ITK, I'm not pretending to be, but maybe this speaks louder about there's something wrong behind the scenes, or maybe there's something that, maybe there's like there is an effort to undermine everything that is from this past era of Liverpool. It honestly does. Think about all the pieces that are getting slowly but surely moved off and replaced. And I mean, really contemplate it.
Virgil and Ali will be the only links to the Champions League winning side, won't they?
Basically, it's a good chance come summer, Virgil and Ali might be the only two, might be like, two of the last men standing when it comes to original players brought in from that former era of football that we know as Jurgen Klopp.
Now, if Robbo leaves, that throws up a vacancy in the vice captain position, and I was wondering. I just thought I'd like to try this idea out. What about McAllister as vice captain to try and pep his performances up? Because if we gave it to Szoboszlai, say Szoboszlai plays like he does anyway without the armband. I reckon if we give it to McAllister, that might give his head a wobble and a shake, and he'll go, "Oh, I'm vice captain now. I've gotta play me best." Yeah, step it up a bit. I wouldn't mind that, because we need McAllister at his best to play better in the remainder of the season.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. I would love to see that. I've always said that McAllister, I think, should be, or I always said that McAllister would be a candidate for captain on a team if I was, if I had the power to initiate it. Primarily because I wouldn't want to see McAllister leave. I would like to see McAllister feel like he is a real part of this club, a real part of this team, of its future. And being a captain signifies that. I think personally it signifies that. I think that's one of the main reasons why Robbo stayed, because there was talks about Robbo leaving in the summer originally. He was talking about going to Atletico Madrid, possibly, a team in Champions League, a team that, that is certainly on is a common fixture in the runs in Spanish league. It would have been a different challenge for him in his career, certainly one that he probably would have taken on fully. But I think he made the choice to become vice captain, and he said, "You know what? I've got a job to do here. I've got to honor my duty here." But I would be down for that. I'd definitely be down for that. I know some people in the chat don't really rate McAllister the way you and I do, but I'd be totally down with that.
It'd be worth a shot, wouldn't it, to see if it did have an effect on his form, for him to have to think to himself, right, I've got to play like a captain or a vice captain now, and lead by example with my performances. I mean, naturally, you'd think of Robbo because he's been our best player this season and he does captain Hungary. But I think he's another one of those players that doesn't really need an armband.
I agree with that. See, that's the thing. I agree with that completely.
Yeah.
You should say that more. You should say that more often because I agree with that completely.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Please, I don't think Diomande Szoboszlai needs a captain's armband. He's going to give you those kinds of performances. 9 out of 10 times that he gets on the pitch. But but a player like McAllister, who has been, let's not get it twisted. For all those that think that McAllister can't be a captain, he was the captain of Brighton, by the way.
Yeah,
I think it's worth a shot. He was there.
Yeah, I think it's worth a shot giving him the vice captaincy to see if it has an effect on his game. For the second half of this, well, we're well past halfway, but when I say the second half of the season, we're like, what, about 4 games into it in the league, aren't we, the second half of the season now?
I agree with what Lone Sheep is saying, too. I think he's saying, Lone Sheep says, he's been saying that they are destroying the foundation Klopp built. That's why we have an identity issue. I am not in dispute of that. I think that they are doing an active effort to create Liverpool in the essence and image that they believe is the way forward. Whether that ends up being prosperous for us, one can only hope so. But I know that right now the process is a painful one, seeing a lot of these fan favorites or living legends be slowly but surely replaced or ripped out of the fabric that is Liverpool, and it hurts. I haven't seen what they're doing on X High Lore. I'll take a look though after the show.
No, this one would sting if Robbo left now. This window, it'd sting, and it'd be to the detriment of the club and the squad, sadly. But if anyone deserves it, Robbo deserves it for the service he's given us.
Mm-hmm. Howler says, how a player that got promoted to vice captain only 6 months ago leaves the club halfway through the season.
Am I right in saying that Scotland made the playoffs for the World Cup? It's not over yet for them, or is it over?
No, they're in the World Cup. I think they're in the World Cup.
Right. Well, yeah, that'll be a big thing for Robbo, won't it? Being Scotland's captain and wanting to have enough minutes. We've got to look at it from the point of view: would he get enough minutes if he stays? I'm of the opinion that he would, as long as if he started some games towards the end of the season and come on in others. He'd get enough football, I reckon, to be in good shape for the World Cup. But I'm not Robbo, I don't. It's what his assessments of the situation is, his appraisal of things, isn't it? Not mine.
Shiva says Dom might not need the armband, but it wouldn't be fair to overlook him. I'm not saying that I'm overlooking Dominic. I'm not saying that at all. To be honest with you, on my team that I'm playing with on my video game, Diomande Szoboszlai is my vice captain.
Oh, well, wouldn't let Robbo go to a rival, and Spurs are something of a rival still. They're still one of the bigger Premier League clubs in terms of stature. I wouldn't be having Robbo going to them. He'd have to go abroad for me to absorb the blow with any degree of, without a fuss. If he went to one of our rivals, I'd be horrified.
Yeah, Spurs aren't one of our rivals. That's certainly true. I don't look at Spurs as being one of our rivals. I'm sure Spurs look at it the same, I think. And let's see. And look, it could be a condition where, maybe this is our way of setting up a future deal with for Van de Ven. Maybe this is a way of being like, okay, yes, you know, you one of those like you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours type situation where
I'd want
we
him now,
understand you.
though. I'd want
Huh?
Van der Ven now, not in the summer. If we were losing Robbo, because he can play left back.
Yeah, I don't see that happening though. I don't think that's happening. But you know, it is a question of where and how it is. Jimmy was saying he still can't get his head around this. He says he dismissed it as clickbait headlines this morning, something rotten in the background. Yeah, it does feel like it isn't. It does feel like it. It does feel like it. I know you got all caps out there, huh? You're making sure that we see what you got to say, Lee. I got you. How about we just talk about this then? How about we talk about this, Lee? Slot press conference. Slot sat down at the AXA, and honestly, he's pretty consistent with the message that he was trying to present out there. He expects no movement in the January window. Now, is that someone conditioning us? Is he trying to convince himself to be prepared for it? I don't know. But he always adds the same caveat. If there's an opportunity to strengthen, Liverpool will act. That line is important because it tells you what the club is doing. They're not hunting. They're waiting. Some maybe to the disregard or to the detriment of some of us out there in the fandom. But waiting in January is also pretty dangerous, if you ask me, if you're one awkward training session away from a crisis. Injury-wise, the headline is Federico Chiesa is 50-50 after the warm-up issue against Marseille. Slot says it's not expected to be long, but he's still in doubt. Then there's Calvin Ramsey. Calvin Ramsey's returning to the squad. He's not in the Champions League group, but available domestically. And that matters if you're going to juggle minutes. But then again, this coach has said that he has other options. He has other options that he'd rather play than Calvin Ramsey. So what is Calvin Ramsey doing? Just, holding down a seat? Slot also spoke about the top four race. And you can somewhat hear it in the subtext of what he was trying to say. Injuries have been brutal this year. He mentions he didn't expect to be without Leone. He didn't expect to be without Isak. He didn't expect to be without Bradley, especially for long as they've been out. And the confidence is there, certainly, but it's the kind of confidence that comes with a warning label of football can come at you. Football, life moves fast sometimes, and football is for some life, and it is moving at lightning speed.
Mm.
I actually liked what he said about Joe Gomez. Slot basically framed Joe Gomez as one of those rare players who doesn't need a long run to hit a high level.
Mm.
He can drop in and perform, but he also hinted at monitoring him in training because the schedule is tight.
Mm.
That tells you where Liverpool are right now. A good team trying to manage fragility.
We're understaffed in defence as it is, but that's in centre-back position, and we've lost Bradley to lose Robbo now. We'd only have one right-back and one left-back. We'd have no cover for either position. Then we're going to start playing midfielders at full-back, which I don't want. We've seen too much of that already this season. We need the midfielders playing in midfield. But this is where we are, and we need to bring some help in. I think desperately needs a transfer. It's faintly ludicrous if we don't get a transfer this window. We've all wanted a bit of transfer action this window, but I don't want it to be outgoing rather than incoming.
Yeah. That's the weird thing about it. Do you buy Slot's no movement stance as maybe him trying to, be steady, be the light within the storm, steady, be the light, with the lighthouse in the storm, basically. Or does it feel like Liverpool are doing what a lot of people are saying in the chat, I think, tempting fate again?
That's what we'd be doing. He won't be doing anything great if he's saying, look, I don't need a player coming in. Then what he's doing is tempting fate that the couple of players he has got are going to stay fit. And the last time we did that, it was tough.
Yeah, there's a difference between being composed and being exposed.
God forbid Virgil gets injured, but it could happen. Do you know what I mean?
Anything's possible.
Mate, if he got injured, we probably wouldn't qualify for the Champions League then. It'd be that serious. Or we might have to rely on an Alisson header, last gasp in the last game again.
Maybe so. Maybe so. He mentioned Burnley.
What?
He mentioned Burnley in this, and I'm going to talk about this because this is very interesting. He mentioned Burnley first half and Arsenal as good performances, which is weird to mention a half of a game as being a good performance. But he mentioned Arsenal first half, or he mentioned the second half of Arsenal and the first half of Burnley. And the theme is the same. Good performances don't get credit if results aren't there. You can talk about good performances all you like if you want. But he goes deeper and he talks about adapting repeatedly this season, trying to find the best way to get the most out of the team. That's basically slot talk about admitting the tactical search has been real. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. The clean sheet point that he brought up is massive. I agree. Slot says in the 13-game unbeaten run, maybe only Brighton he saw have more than one XG conceded against us. That's a good stat. That's the defensive foundation being rebuilt. We get that. But he has the obvious truth. You can't keep conceding goals when you hardly concede chances. And having Alisson helps because he can make worldly saves. He bails us out when the variance hits, when that one opportunity that they get is a clean opportunity and he makes some fantastic save. He also praised Frimpong's intensity, which I agree with. Sprint heavy, high impact, basically said they have to manage him. Key word, manage him to keep him available. He gave praises to Kirkes. He praised progression, adapting to the team, getting stronger, improving with the demands of playing twice a week. Slot clearly sees Kirkes as an investment paying off in real time. But if you connect the dots, Slot is building a more solid defensive base. I'll give him that credit. But managing intensity, managing players that are pace heavy, like Frimpong, Kirkes, developing the young signings and hoping the attack clicks consistently enough for top four is a question mark for all of us. Do you think Liverpool's defending is improving, Lee?
No.
Do you agree that? Do you think our defense
maybe
is
slightly from what it was months ago, but we're still letting in too many goals. Burnley was a prime example of that. We couldn't hold on to the win at home against Burnley. Stung. There you go.
Yeah, he said something. I don't know if I put that in. When he started talking about it, yesterday I brought up some comments about Arnie And I know that some people took it as me certainly not defending him, but certainly they took it. I saw some of the comments. They took it as I was being maybe too harsh against Arnie Slot. I know I saw again Lawrence McKenna talking about how the comment that I was emphasizing was a poor comment for him to make about the whole twice in 30 years as opposed to twice in 5 years comment was something that didn't really sit well with me. And there's also the talk about the fact that he talks about low blocks so much. If it's not PSG, it's Burnley that he'll talk about, And it's weird to talk about a team bound for relegation so much, but he talked about it quite a bit. And I didn't do a full segment on this, but it was just something that was on my mind about. I was happy to see that he heard not what I said, but he heard something that Stevie G had said that was certainly similar. And that is he needs to stop talking about the low block and start finding solutions for the low block. You can't keep going on about, oh, well, this team doesn't come out and play. They don't want to come out and play against us, and they sit in a low block, and that's the reason why we lost.
Klopp never. That was one of Klopp's catchphrases, wasn't it? We must find solutions. We must find solutions when things were a bit rough,
right?
And we were down a few players, and we've got to, haven't we? He's got to find a solution. He's got to show that he's a good enough coach to be able to beat this low block that everyone's doing when they come to Anfield. And people are doing it on their own ground against us as well, aren't they? Look at the way Burnley played in Burnley. That was like a tremendously low block considering they were the home team. But we've got to find a way around it. It's not the first time in Premier League history that teams have set up defensively. You've got to be able to beat them.
No, you got to break them down, period. Just got to do it. And it was, I thought it was important that he finally admitted that, he does have to stop talking about it. But it is a question. I don't get why he talks about it so much. He's obsessed with the low block being an excuse, and it could be something of an issue that we need to figure out. Let me see if I can find the actual quote that was made by Stevie and by him actually. Yeah, Arnie Slot. The article was Arnie Slot responds to Steven Gerrard's low block comment criticism and outlines Bournemouth challenge. Basically, that was the key to it. On TNT, Stevie said he needs to stop mentioning low blocks. Low blocks have been happening against Liverpool since he was playing. Since I was playing. That's what this is what Steven Gerrard says. Low blocks have been happening against Liverpool since I was playing. That's just the way it is. And then his answer to that was on Saturday Night Football, talking about his our trip to Bournemouth. Slot said, I haven't heard him saying it exactly, but Steven Gerrard has always been very positive and still is about Liverpool Football Club. He cares about it. I can only agree with him that I speak a lot about low blocks because we face a lot of low blocks. And if people ask me after the game my opinion about the games, I had to describe something. Okay. He said a lot of being said about it, and maybe wait, let me get this straight. He said a lot is being said about it, And maybe I should try to find other words. Maybe I should find other words or just simply not talk about it anymore. People know now. And maybe we don't face it anymore because Bournemouth has always been a very intense team to play against, and they will be like that on Saturday. Yeah. Stop talking about it, Arnie, please. Just stop talking about it. We don't want to hear the excuse about low blocks anymore. Figure out a solution to it. Figure out a solution. Yeah. Just sort it out. Exactly. Exactly. Big up, JK. How are you doing?
I'm good, bro. What you saying? Hope you're cool, Lee, as well.
Hi, Joe.
You're cool, man. Bless up.
You want to give your before we move on to before we continue on, because we're talking about low blocks, about how Steven Gerrard called him out on called out Arnie Slot, saying he needs to stop talking about low blocks so much, as if it's this kryptonite that we can't seem to figure out. Like, as in, you gotta recognize teams are going to play us. There's going to be teams that play us in low blocks. It's your job as coach to figure it out.
Well, bless up Lee Wizkid, always, bro. Jimmy, Helio, Cedric as well, man. Good to see ya. Look, bro, football's a game where the opposition are going to make it the hardest they can for you not to win. And when you see Marseille the other day, they were trying to attack us. And what we did, we exploited them with a 3-0 away win, bro. So Arnie Slot needs to know what he's actually talking about. Because for me, he's giving the opposition, say, you know what, if we put 11 men behind the ball and nick a goal, we probably beat Liverpool. You've got to be clever as a Liverpool manager when you're doing press conferences of what sort of information you give out. And for me, he gives too much information out sometimes. So if a team's attacking 20, so for me, we've got enough players in that squad to handle any game that comes at them. It could be a gritty game, it could be a long ball game, it could be a throw-in game, corners, whatever. Whatever comes at you, they've got to handle it. And that's for me, football. You know, when we were younger and we played football, not every game went our way. Sometimes it was a little bit tougher. Sometimes it was a bit more slow or fast. And that's football. That's why we all love football. It's not always the same. And Arnie Slot needs to realise that this is Premier League football now, and where managers are coming in from all around the world who've got ideas. They've been brewing up all their lives and coming to the Premiership and trying to exploit them, other teams with them tactics. And Arnie Slot don't need to really talk about these sort of subjects for me.
Yeah. What about also with Robbo?
3 million, bro. Oh, that's a joke, isn't it? I'm speechless as well, Cedric. What's you know what it is? It's all about game time. I feel Robertson wants to play in the World Cup and be sort of playing in the Premier League as well. So because his spot's sort of gone now to Kirkes, he sort of might be moving on, isn't it? That's a weird one, that is. I don't know about that one though. Robertson, what do you think, Lee?
Don't want Robbo to go this window, leave a gaping hole in terms of his dedication and his drive. We'd have to bring Simicast back, I would imagine, like if we don't buy anyone. And I don't think we're in the market for a left back. Yeah, it'd leave us a bit short because we're short at centre back already. Then, we've lost Bradley. It'd leave us with one right back and one left back only. And no cover. We've got no cover at centre back either. So no cover at centre back, no cover at right back, no cover at left back. Perfect. We got cover at goal. We've got Mamadashvili. Well, that's the only cover we'd have then defensively.
And he likes his 2 goalkeepers as subs as well, and he does. For me, that Robertson move it shouldn't be done. But for me, it's all about maybe game time. Tottenham are going to be, because they've got, I think, Ujuji is injured. So he's thinking, Robertson, you know what? I'm going to get game time. I'm going to go move to a really good stadium and that. And move to London
Is that
for a
what
few
it
years.
is? Because his doggy's injured. He's like looking at Robbo.
Yep.
Piss off. What's happened to that other fella there? Region? Is he gone? Has he that Spanish one he bought? Region?
Yeah, he's gone years ago, bro. He went to Man United as well, didn't he?
I know he was just yet another Spanish left back that didn't work in the mould of Moreno and a few others.
Well, Tottenham?
No, I mean just in the Premier League, the way like we have Moreno, he looked quite skillful, Region. But never. There's been like right backs as well. Remember what's his name? We had the right back. What's his bloody name? Then he went somewhere else. Went to Newcastle.
I think. What is his name, man? That's a good question.
Right back. Yeah.
Begins with M. I think his name begins with M.
Mankeo. Javier Mankeo.
Yeah. Yeah, I was expecting. He's still playing, you know. I can't remember where, but I've seen him recently in a game, so I'm not sure.
No, after losing our cover at right back, letting our cover at left back go would be bad for me.
I'm not gonna say what Norm said, but I don't know. I don't think that we're broke. After that report that we just got over yesterday, you know, it's really weird because we're reportedly one of the richest clubs in England. You know.
No, for me, that's more to do with the player himself wanting to leave. I think.
I think it is. I mean, this doesn't even become this doesn't become even a conversation unless some way or another the player thought, okay, yeah, maybe we should. This is a good move for me or not. If he doesn't think, if it's not a team that he'd be willing or consider even remotely considering, then this is a non-starter. But obviously, it's a team that needs his services. They had a major injury to their left back, so that makes a difference too. So
they're spending this window. They've already got the lad from what's his name? The one from Atletico Madrid. They brought him in, or was what? Who else they brought in?
I'm very interested to see how the fans react tomorrow.
Look, bro, Robertson's been on the bench for a while now.
No, I meant like as in, I just meant, JK, I just meant I'm very interested to see how the fans react and how Robbo reacts as well, what he does. Could you imagine we might not see Robbo play again?
Yeah, that's going to be a bit of a mad one, bro. Highest assist maker as a left back. Covered most. I've got some few facts about Robertson. 1 second, if I can find them. Here we go. Most touches as a left back in opposition boxes, 597. Most chances created, 420 as a left back. Most big chances created, 87. And most assists as a left back, 56. And I think he's second behind Trent, isn't he? Bro, and he cost 8 million. So I think for me, probably the best signing in Premier League history, that one. 8 million, you got them stats. Yeah, man, what a guy.
Yeah.
Always been a big fan of Robertson. He's like from the streets, you know, them type of lads who's not been born with a golden spoon and stuff and had it hard, you know. And he's got to the top and he's done it. And that was probably one of the, whoever signed him up, fair play to you, man. But for me, I don't really want to see him go to Tottenham of all teams as well. Come on. You know what I mean? If he's going to Bayern Munich, Paris Saint-Germain, I'll be like, yeah, fair play. Experience in your country. Yeah. But not fucking Tottenham, man. After what they just did to us a few weeks ago, they're trying to batter us, bro.
Yeah.
The injured eyes.
Yeah.
No, that's why I don't want Van de Ven, bro.
Yeah.
That tackle on.
Oh, you're having injury
me.
problems? Oh, that sucks to be you, doesn't it?
There you go. And that's from the manager. The manager's telling them to play that because I've seen a few Tottenham games this season, and the energy is that aggressive energy. Considering how many good players they've got in that team and squad, you'd think they wouldn't go that way. But hey, they didn't. Spurs, man, come on. For me, I put Arsenal and Spurs sort of in the same bracket. Their fans are really, I don't know, man. There's one or two who are sound, but all in general, they're really like soap opera sort of supporters, isn't they? Like Arsenal fans. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We have two center backs and Gomez, who we all love. But come on, do we really think he's not going to be injured? Robbo can play center half, and he can play it better than any play it better than any midfielder we have. I would have been. You know what's sad about this? To be honest with you guys, I would have been more understanding if he had accepted the move to Atletico Madrid in the summer. It would have sucked because we wouldn't have had the proper fanfare to see him off.
I'm hoping that the club just don't want to let him go.
Spurs is not the move for me.
Yeah. And another thing with Robbo is he is potential cover at centre-back. We have played him there a couple of times, and he's potential cover.
Mm-hmm. Jimmy says he can see Robbo wanting minutes before the World Cup, but to go to Spurs. Hyler saying one thing is for sure, to turn this around, Tottenham are backing Thomas Frank to the top after he has been in trouble for so long. Tottenham are working really hard in the transfer market that they are. Let's see.
It's a bit cheeky of them, I will say. A bit cheeky of them, like if they're after Robbo on the, for the cheapo, or few bob and that. It is. And if he were to say yes and he really wanted to go, that would do me head in. I hope the club just aren't having it and think, nah, we need him here till May to help us achieve our objectives, shall we say.
You can clip this, sell Robbo now, and I bet Grav plays center half soon. I hope not, Norm. I hope that you're wrong about that. Sorry if you can hear the landscapers out front, or out back, I should say. I'm trying to mute it so you don't hear the leaf blower.
No, we can't hear nothing.
Oh, I can hear it. A leaf blower is like a little dirt bike that just doesn't want to get out of gear. It seems like it's stuck in first gear. That's what a leaf blower sounds like. Let's see. How about we talk about our own transfer business? I know that there's been talk about us not making any transfer moves. That's been said by our coach. But transfer board time, all the same. I know some of these players are players we would like to see move. Some of these players are players that we'd like to see possibly be on the move to our team or away from our team. But let's just get into this. First off, Diomande, the numbers being thrown around are pretty big. Leipzig want around 100 million euros. 100 million euros. The key point in the report you've got is Byron potentially thinking that's too expensive. So Liverpool got framed as a club considering an offer this month. I don't know if this is a January story, to be honest with you. Obviously, it's been said that January is not going to be any movement for us, but it does tell you some of the summer positioning, I guess you could say, our team is trying to make. It tells you maybe what Liverpool's profile, being that they're being linked with premium players, high ceiling talent, no patch job signings and the likes. That's where it comes down to. Hold on 1 second. That was right. I could see the landscaper right there. That would have been loud. But he's doing rounds. He's doing circles. But there was talk. You know what's really frustrating is I like Diomande. I've been looking at more of his footage, and I think he's a good player. How are you guys? Are you guys bullish on Diomande? Lee, JK?
Yeah, I'd have Diomande in a heartbeat.
Anyone who makes us better, bro, we'll take them.
We need to sign him. He's quite experienced now as well, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
I just said that if anyone makes us better, we should just get them in. Like for me, Gay and Semenyo, bro, that was 2 pieces of work we could have got done. They would have made us better for sure. But no, we weren't really looking to. We spent a lot in the summer, bro. Hence why I thought this January we're not going to get anyone in. And with Robertson going to leave as well, that's a bit of a mad one, bro. So yeah.
Would you spend 100 million euros? Would you spend 100 million euros on Diomande?
No.
What is that, like 80? Isn't that like 80 million?
No, I wouldn't be paying that. That's a joke, that price. But I would pay.
That's a mad price.
You know, I would pay a decent fee for him, but not that. Nowhere near that, to be honest. Nowhere near that. 80 million. Yeah, if he's not Virgil. I'll pay him Virgil money for him.
Mm-hmm.
Pay 80 for him. Pay the sort of fee we paid for Ebbo.
I ask you, I got you, Nora. I'm sorry about the leaf blower. He's almost done. I'm sorry. I'm trying to mute it so that you don't have to hear. That's why I'm going on mute. Just so when he comes by, he's almost done. He's doing the backyard here.
You must have better hearing than me, Norm, because I can't pick it up. That's all.
Yeah, maybe it's because, like I mentioned it, now you kind of like can tune into it. You can tune into the frequency.
The lawnmower man.
The lawnmower man, yeah. The lawnmower man. What was that one? The Wicker Man. What was the one with where it was like it was like a big Burning Man type thing?
Yeah, the Wicker Man. The stickhead with wood was in it at the end.
Yeah.
What Christ, don't use guys. I am your son, Neil Howie. And he starts singing and that before they burn him. Poor old Edward Woods. Poor old Officer Howie, Neil Howie. Mate, I love that film. It's one of the weirdest films ever, The Wicked Man. Christopher Lee's immense in it as Lord Summerisle. Don't half buzz off me.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that's what right here. That is what it is, man. It's I don't know if anyone's ever ridden a little 50cc dirt bike or something like that. That's exactly what it sounds like. It's like you only got one gear and you can just you can just that's all I can do. All right. But I was just going to bring up this one question here, and it was one that I thought might be interesting to some of us, and that is, if, this is a big if, I know that Arsenal is trying to make moves for a particular player that I like. I like this player. I was hoping that the rumors of us going for him in the past were true, and obviously it didn't work out when he was at Manchester City before he went to Spain. But there are rumors that Arsenal are going to be trying to make a move for Atletico Madrid's Julian Alvarez. Would you try to make a move for Alvarez by any chance? If we've got 80 some odd million pounds lying in our pockets, burning a hole in our pockets?
Yeah, he's a great player. I just question whether he'd want to come back to the Premier League to play it himself. We might like him and all that and could afford him, but would he want to come back to the Premier League?
Apparently the asking price is the same. They're asking for 100 million euros for him. Would you do it? Would you make that move?
I was, yeah. If we could tempt him back to the Premier League, I'd be cock a hoop. But the thing is, we've got Isak and Ekitike, you know what I mean? We're struggling to fit them all in them, and
I think it could work if you have, especially if we go with a 2-striker system, it could massively work, because that's the one thing I think is, I know a lot of people that when I would bring up, oh, we should go to a 4-4-2 or we should do the diamond and have 2 strikers, the first pushback I would normally get was, we don't have the depth at striker to do that. If one gets injured, which he has, we will be caught out and not able to supplement that. And I think that's not true. I'm very optimistic to see what Mohamed Salah will do if he can make possibly the transition to a center forward, the same way that Mane made the transition from being a left inside forward to a left forward or main striker, if you want to call it that. I think they could make it in this role, but that'd be a phenomenal. I think we'd be phenomenally set up if we could have that kind of rotation. To be honest with you, I don't know if you agree or not on that one, Lee. JK's on mute, so that's just a conversation between us two, I think, at the moment.
We need signings in other areas, don't we, than up front?
Would you rather sign, if you had 800? If Edwards said, here, Hughes, here's 100 million euros, and both Diomande and Alvarez were available for transfer, who would you make the move for?
Sorry, out of who did you say?
If we had, tell me in the chat too. Tell me in the chat, because you guys are the only ones paying attention to me, apparently. 100 million euros. Would you go, and Diomande and Alvarez both are available and wanting to make the move? Who would you spend the 100 million euros on?
I couldn't, in all good conscience, spend that much on Diomande, but I'd rather have him of the two, just at a lower price. So I would say Diomande, but no way I'd be paying that price for him. He'd have to be a bit less. But we're more in need of a centre-back, much more in need of a centre-back than we are of a striker.
Okay. JK, you have an answer?
Definitely need the defender more, don't we?
I mean, everyone's going defender. They didn't even think about it. They're like, Lone Chief says get the defender. Hyler says 100 million euros would get you Mickey Van de Ven. Forget Diomande. Norm says defender and DM. I don't know if you're going to get both out of that, but yeah. And then they're talking about the Exorcist. But go ahead. 100 million on the 100 million euros in the bank, and Diomande and Alvarez are both interested in the project, in the Liverpool project. Who do you bring in?
I don't know. I don't know, bro.
Okay.
I don't know. You yourself? Who would you do?
It's tough because Diomande is young and he'll be a prosper, as a hot prospect, and he's got a high ceiling and everything else. But I would go with
Alvarez.
Van de Ven, bro, because he's a proven product in the Premier League.
Yeah, I don't know. Van de Ven's like, bro, ever since that Isaac thing, I've cut him off my shopping list. And he's injury prone, as Lone Sheep says. I don't know, man. It's just crazy money, isn't it? It's crazy. For average players, bro, when you look, they're not Alan Hansons and Virgil van Dijk's, these lads. You know what I mean?
Right. So tell me, you guys in the chat, you're all talking about how you guys wanted Norm, for instance. You said you want a DM. Well, then,
oh yeah, for me, sure, big time.
Are you going to rather than go and get a Alvarez or even a Diomande? Are you going to spend 80 million for Adam Wharton?
Would he be just doing the same job Gravenberch will be doing, but probably better passing with it? You know what I mean?
Probably better passing.
Wharton. He's a good little player.
I'm not going to lie. But then again, the portion of the passing would be supplemented by Gravenberch's ability to use his pace.
I like when Gravenberch gets the ball and starts going forward with it. He's pretty good. He's a good little player, Gravenberch. I don't know, man. I just feel we need an out-and-out DM. You know, for me, Casado, when look how good he's been at Chelsea.
Who is that out-and-out DM?
I think we need a really strong DM as well. We do, don't we?
Who is it? Who is it? I don't want to get too sidetracked because I want to get to our preview. But who is this? Who is this Mascherano? Who is this Fabinho in hiding? Who is that? I'm asking, and I'm not trying to be cheeky or trying to be cute or anything like that. I'm just honestly asking, who is this DM like Fabinho that is out there?
When you think about it, bro, the names that have been offered: Andre at Wolves, Stiller at Stuttgart.
At Atlanta, he was linked with us, wasn't he?
Are you saying Fabinho wasn't a good DM for us? Is that what you're saying, Lee? I thought Fabinho was a phenomenal DM for us. I think Fabinho at DM is a different. Fabinho as a DM is a different typecast or different profile of a DM than Adam Wharton, than a Ryan Gravenberch, or even a McAllister.
We need more than an Endo, don't we, for the role? We need someone who's as defensively sound as Endo, but also has a bit of vision and skill, or more than Endo. Because Arnie's just not having him as an option, is he, and never has done really since his arrival. He uses him when he's forced to. From the start.
I'm not disputing that that's their role too. I understand. I know that's often like whenever I ask that, not whenever, but normally when I do ask a question like that, I'll get an answer like, that's not my job. Like that's for the sporting director, or that's what they get paid for. I'm not disputing that. I'm not disputing it at all. That is what they get paid for. But I'm also saying, like, we're sitting here talking about players. I mean, Norm liked what was the Dutch player that ended up going to Chelsea? He was I want to say he was a left back. He's like a left back / left center half. Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you remember? Norm, I'm sure.
Ignacio.
Yeah, Hato. Yeah.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
yeah. Absolutely, yeah.
And I mean, that's all I'm saying. Like, as in, that player was obviously out there that for you recognize that player as being a player that you like, or a player that you thought is a good fit for our team. That's all I'm asking. I'm not saying that you need to go out there and scout all the other players. That's yeah. I'm just asking, like, if you have a player out there, I would love to hear. Maybe there's some player out there that some of us don't have the opportunity to meet, or haven't had the opportunity to see. Maybe we don't necessarily have the opportunity to recognize and stuff like that. Stiller, it's a good shout. I've heard Stiller is a good shout. JK, you watch him, or you've seen him in the Bundesliga. You think he would be a good?
He's a good little player.
Is he more of like the traditional destroyer style DM?
He can score goals and assist for it as well. So he's a bit of an all rounder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Look, Tahilio, like for me, Gravenberch, he's definitely playing better attacking wise this season. Mm-hmm. You've seen that shift in his game. It's good. It's good.
Varela. Okay. Varela. Norm is saying. That's all I'm asking. I'm just having the conversation. Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, I just wanted to keep the conversation going. I didn't want to shut it down, I guess. That's all I was trying to say. Stiller isn't better than Zubimendi, in Heiler's opinion. That's interesting. I wouldn't have said. I would have thought that Stiller. I'm not a big Zubimendi fan, to be honest with you. I think he's a good player, but I'm not a big Zubimendi fan. All this talk of signings, and we don't know if Slot is going to be here next season. I think that's a major factor in what we're seeing a lot of the questions be stemmed around. Baleba is better than Stiller? Yeah, possibly. Heiler, but it doesn't have to be better than Zuby. He's better than any DM we have, says Norm. And depending on where we end up at the end of the season, that's probably where we're going to decide. Look, we're talking about a lot of these things that are going on. Harvey Elliott, Dean Smith has confirmed interest from Charlotte FC. The subtext is Harvey Elliott wants game time. They're a fit for him. I know people don't necessarily rate the MLS as a viable option. I say go to the MLS and tear it up. Harvey, go to the MLS, hit me up. We'll hang out. We'll go grab a bite to eat. We'll watch the Liverpool Reds games together if you want, and we can do something like that. But I just want to see you get playing time. It's not a permanent deal. It's just a loan deal. And the story frames the MLS option as a practical route for minutes for a player that needs them if he's going to have any hope of even remotely making it into possibly the England squad. It is better than not playing. It's just the plain simple truth. It's better. Playing football is better than not playing. And right now he's in this unfortunate, limbo where he doesn't know if he's going to be able to find football. Certainly, if he were to play with, even if he were to come back with us, or even if we were to bring him back and then try to bring him out, he wouldn't be able to play in England, period, as well. It's a weird situation. It's one to watch, not because it's glamorous, but because it speaks about another player, very much like Robbo, that loves Liverpool, that is all about the team, and is another aspect of the of the past administration, I think, the past era of this club that we're apparently trying to move on from. And then there's this big topic, because I want to make sure that we get into the last portion of the show, which is the actual preview for tomorrow's game. There is Harvey Elliott. There's Mohamed Salah, excuse me. We've got multiple strands of chatter out here. Some say that the move is inevitable for Mohamed Salah to move this summer. Some have said that Saudi Arabia, teams from Saudi Arabia have been putting in inquiries for a January move. And pundits, yes, they are annoying, but even some in our own fan base have been voicing that we should sell Mohamed Salah now while we can get the most for him. The constant thread is that a January move is unlikely, but that is not completely out of the question, is what is being said. I think it is out of the question, especially with the need that this club has. It's wild when a player's future becomes a weekly headline. It doesn't mean it's imminent, but it definitely means that people are talking about it. If you're Liverpool, do you treat Salah's noise as background noise, or do you start to really figure out a solution now before it becomes a problem? You got an answer for that one, Lee?
About having cover, like if Robbo goes, do you mean?
No. If you're Liverpool, do you treat Salah as the noise associated with Salah as just noise, or do you try to get ahead of it and deal with it and come out and say, Salah's not for sale, let's move on and keep it moving, you know?
Yeah, we just move on with him, like, because we got other things to think about. That situation will hopefully take care of itself from here on in. He'll get minutes and he'll play well. Yeah, we'll be all right with that one, I think. And then in the summer, we might be looking to offload him off the wage bill. We'll have to wait and see, won't we, till the summer. But until then, same as in it, like, he's one of our top players.
Mm-hmm.
Like for me, bro, we live in a social media world, and a lad at home could be thinking, well, what story can I make up? One of them could be, oh, you know what, Saudi Arabia into Salah. And because football, they put one-on-one together and think, okay, he's not happy there, let's make a link for him. Why everyone's going to look at our link and, oh, look, that lad said this. Most of it is bullshit, bro. Mm-hmm. And that's why I don't really pay attention to that world of football. I ain't got time for that. When it's going to happen, it's going to happen. You know, look at the Trent thing. I always said, look at the box
I was about to get into the Trent thing. The Trent thing's wild. The Trent rumors. It reads like kind of like it's very karmatic, I guess you could say. The reports suggest Madrid want him to find a new club. The staff's unhappy, etc. Blah blah blah. I'm not going to build a whole worldwide worldview on that type of claim, because I know that could be disputed. But I will say this: whenever you see very definitive language from vague sources, you have to treat it carefully. But also when it comes from the coaches or whatever being apparently putting it out there. Even if it's the interim coach, you definitely have to say to yourself, maybe there is some smoke where there's fire. There's some fire where there's smoke, I should say. I think that's how the saying goes. Lee Wiskett says he doesn't want him back. Okay, got you. I guess Trent is not welcome here. Okay. Hey, if Trent Alexander-Arnold came back to this team, I don't think many of us should really feel it as. People make mistakes. Can look at it that way. People make mistakes. No? Is that not how you guys are feeling? Lee? You feeling that way? JK, you feeling that way? Would you let bygones be bygones if Trent said if there was a way to get Trent back?
Probably not. No, I think we've moved.
There's no way
on.
I'm not paying a dime for him. To be honest with you,
No.
There's no way I'm paying.
We got Frimpong anyway, bro. It's cool.
Yeah.
Moved
For
on
me,
to
he'll go by
Frimpong,
Someone said Lone Sheep is asking where would he play. Okay, Lee, I got you. You said that you would take him back in a heartbeat. All right, I got you. It's a very weird season. It is, Jimmy. It is a very weird season. We already talked about briefly about the Mickey Van de Ven. I'll just bring it up one last time. This is there is a claim that he's pushing for a summer exit. Spurs value him in anywhere north of 100 million pounds, not euros, pounds.
No.
And Liverpool are unlikely to repeat a mega spend spree. So that makes it where, okay, you have an evaluation of yourself, but it's not going to be one that we can meet. At least that's one that Spurs, or at least the one that Spurs want. Does Mickey Van de Ven push like this, like very similar the way that we saw Isak push his way out of Newcastle? We still had to pay a premium price to get him.
Spurs want £100 million, and they priced Van der Ven out of a move. But he's got a shit injury record since he come to the Premier League anyway. And after what he did to Isak purposely, that tackle, it'd be hard for me to like him. Do you know what I mean? He'd have to get in our team and play really well for me to like him after what he did to Isak. Because he meant to do that, the shitbag.
Yeah. How much are you in favor of? Like, how much are you excited to watch this fixture, this upcoming fixture? I know I know that that
the Bournemouth one.
Yeah, the Bournemouth game. How much are you?
Very
if you had to gauge 1 to 10, your excitement meter.
I'm a bit more excited because we beat Marseille 3-0, and hopefully the bounce from that will give us a winning performance at Bournemouth. I mean, they've lost Semenyo now as well as all the others. They started the season well, but they've dropped off of late, and we've got to capitalise on that and make sure we get 3 points.
Tavernier's injured. Not for me, 9 out of 10, bro. I'm excited to watch it because of the display in Marseille. Let's see if we go with the same sort of tactics. They've got a few injury worries as well. Kluivert's injured. I like him. I think he's a good little player. Tavernier.
They've got let me pull up their injuries. They do have quite.
And the American lad, bro, the midfielder. What's his name? The one that got from Leeds.
Tyler Adams.
Yeah,
him. I liked him. Good little player he was.
He's injured as well. Tyler Adams. We were considering going for him apparently too.
Mm-hmm. He would have done a job, bro. I would have taken him.
He was going to be possibly like a Hendo. I thought that we had even worked out. I thought originally we had even possibly worked out a move for him at one point.
That's
and then it kind of, and then it fell through, and then he ended up going to Chelsea or something, and then that fell through. And then he ended up going to Bournemouth.
It was the Pulisic link for a while, wasn't it? Quite when Klopp came, to have Pulisic, because we haven't had an American in the team since Brad Friedel, have we?
Yeah. Let me see. The players that Bournemouth have out currently are quite a few. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 players that are doubtful, if not out.
Yeah.
Obviously, Ben Doak is out. Will Dennis is out. Unai is out. Kluivert is out. Tyler Adams is out. Ikem Boney is out. Brooks is doubtful. Solar is doubtful, and Tavernier is doubtful.
They'll still have a side to put out, but that's good news. That's encouraging, and they have dropped off of late, like to what they were. So we've just got to try and get the points right. We've got to try. We need a good
Do you think?
performance as well. We don't need like a skin of the teeth win. We need to go there and assert ourselves and prove that we're in winning the league last year. It wasn't just some terrible fluke, some weird fluke.
Do you think of it as a? Do you think this is a litmus test then, Lee? Do you think this is like this is Hyler just pointed out. Bournemouth have 1 win, 5 draws, and 4 losses in their last 10 matches.
Well,
after the Burnley debacle, coming on the heels of the Burnley debacle, every game's big for Arnie now. He's really got to, turn it on a bit. Like he's got to beat teams like Bournemouth, who are struggling and have lost loads of players. We said that about Burnley, though, and we didn't end up winning. Got in the lead and couldn't keep hold of it. We've got to start doing that.
Big up, Lone Sheep. Drop your score prediction if you got if you want before you bounce. I know you got to put the kids to bed.
Peace, Lone Sheep.
I'm trying to get this too. Suddenly, this app doesn't want to work for some reason.
What team are you going with tomorrow at 12? We didn't even discuss that.
Oh, what team do I think Arnie's going to bring out?
Or the one you want?
One I want and one I get. It's going to probably be 2 different things. But let's see. I'm trying to see what their scores were. They drew to 1-1 to Brighton. They lost to Newcastle in the FA Cup, but it was 3-3. But they lost on pens 7-6. They lost they won against Bournemouth. They won against Spurs 3-2. That was at home.
We've got Newcastle after Carabao, haven't we? We've got Newcastle, then City, 2 home games. Newcastle at Anfield, City at Anfield, and then Sunderland away after the Bournemouth game with Carabao.
Yeah. I was just going to say, Bournemouth, they almost got a result against Arsenal. That was 2-3. They lost. They drew against Chelsea 2-2. They got beaten bad. They got beat bad by Brentford, but that was at Brentford 4-1. They have a draw against Burnley 1-1. Against Manchester United, they drew 4-4. I remember watching that game. And then they drew at home against Chelsea 0-0. I'm not going to lie, like other than the Brentford game, they were in all these games. In the past, that's their past 10 games. They were in all those games. Do you think, is this a litmus test to you? Do you think that this, meaning like, is this one of those, like, can you really say, you know how there's people out there going, we're back, or Liverpool turned the corner, those people? Is this one of those games where you can necessarily say, yeah, Liverpool turned the corner by the result that we see in this game? Or is that going to be held off for the games that Lee was just talking about? Meaning, like, are we going to have to wait until, we face off? Yeah, against against
I think every game,
Carabao and Newcastle, Man City, because those games are coming up at home.
Yeah, for me, every game right now is important for Slot to win. We've seen the heat. Like, this is the happiest I've seen Slot in a while in the press conference for this game. He ain't smiled like that for months, bro. But I think every game is important for us to win. We've sort of turned that bumpy ride anyway. Yeah. I'm so happy Joe Gomez has been involved in steadying us. He's just come in at the start of this run and settled us down. And he did that the other day in Marseille as well. So fair play to him.
Okay. We have to go on a long winning streak to turn the corner. I agree that Red Armchair supporter. I want to get past this whole unbeaten streak BS, to be honest with you. I think the unbeaten streak is a false flag. Like it's one of those like it's something that our coach can talk about. He bring it up in press conferences as if we're like getting stuff done or accomplished. I'm like, we're losing I won't say momentum, but we're losing ground with getting these draws against teams we shouldn't get draws against. No. And we're about to come up against some really tough competition. Like we got to pick up the W's against the Burnleys and the likes and the Leeds, because Bournemouth is one thing. You could even go as far as to say Carabag's another. But that stretch that Lita spoke about, we're going to have Newcastle at Anfield. We're going to have City at Anfield. We're going to have Sunderland at Sunderland. That's a tough stretch. And then we got to hold suit against Brighton to hold on to any type of trophy idea.
We've got a load of home games. We've got 2 away games coming up, and that's but after Bournemouth, it's Forest and Sunderland away, and then Forest away after Bournemouth away. All the others are home games: Brighton, Qarabag, Man City, Newcastle.
Yeah. How about to say Sunderland's 5 games away, man.
I know Sunderland away will be tough, and Newcastle, not Forest away, won't be easy.
Forest away won't be easy. No, it won't. It won't be. I don't think honestly that our FA Cup matchup is going to be an easy matchup either, to be honest with you. Not because Brighton is some juggernaut, but I just think that Brighton, that's one of the few things Brighton has to play for. One of the few things left Brighton has to play for is the FA Cup. Brighton's not most likely getting, into. They're not going to be competing for top 5 or top 4. So they're certainly going to put it all in for that. Tammy Abraham. Wow. Go figure. Interesting. I don't know what Villa's doing with their
they're mad with their transfers. They are. They get someone in for 5 days and it's like he's gone, and they get someone else in. They're mad.
Yeah. I have no idea which way they're going. They're like a wind veil. They go whichever way the wind's blowing. Well, Bournemouth are one of the more intense teams in the league.
Yeah, they play football.
They play football. They like to run. I think they're top in running statistics or something like that, like the amount of ground and grass they cover. 2 days between games, which is not easy to make a transition from. So the tactical question I have for the panel is, do Liverpool double down on what worked in Marseille? Or does this coach go back to a 4-2-3-1?
Stick with the triple Ds, bro, as we said yesterday. You know what I mean?
Nothing wrong with triple D.
Triple D, man.
The triple Ds.
Remember Triple H?
Yeah, the Triple H. There you go.
Triple H, man.
I'd like to see us come out in what we did before. Usually he does, Dustin. Usually he does, and that's one of my biggest criticisms of this coach is that he finds something that works and then he goes right back to type. and it is frustrating. It's one of the reasons why I'm looking forward to what we do in the summertime.
That's why, for me, bro, that when you're a manager of a top club like Liverpool, the opposition should accommodate your football, not the other way around when you're champions. It's as simple as that. Come on.
Yeah.
You're Liverpool, bro. You play the way you want to play and let them chase you. I think Slot overcomplicates football sometimes, where he overcomplicates and over accommodates the opposition. Shows too much respect. You know what I mean? Like, come on. You're playing at home at Anfield and you can't do Sunderland, Leeds and Burnley. Come on. That's poor. So, is that showing too much respect? What is it? You know?
I think it is showing way too much respect. I just think you go out there and you flex on them and you keep it moving. Look, the draws are stacking up. At some point, draws become a habit, and that's what it seems like it's become for us. At least when it comes to the Premier League.
They're all big games for Arnie now. We're waiting for a good performance, not just a good result. We've been waiting weeks for a really good performance, and I hope we get one.
Marseille was that one, bro, I reckon.
Yeah.
The 3-0 at Marseille can only have done them good confidence-wise because it was fairly emphatic. So,
what is the overwhelming common narrative in the games we played well in? Our Arsenal game, the Frankfurt game, Marseille game. What is the underline? Even I said the Arsenal game actually. Pops, big up Pops, by the way.
Bless up, Pops. How you cool, bro?
He's saying it's disrespect, not too.
It's disrespect.
It's disrespect, not too much respect. I got you. He doesn't prepare properly for those teams on the road. Have a great one all. You're on the road. Okay. Yeah, he doesn't. He really doesn't prepare for those teams, or at least what he said was he prepares for them, but the preparations he makes, he says 90% of the time, the team doesn't do what he prepared to do. So he just throws it out. That's not me making that up. That's him. That's his words. I can even look for that quote if you need me to. That's his words. That's tough. That's a tough one to hear. And then you wonder why we can't break down low blocks. That's weird. That's a weird comment. I'm hoping he prepares for this one. I'm hoping he shows up with the 4-2-2-2. But chances are we're going to go with the lineup that has Cody Gakpo in it. No disrespect to Cody at all. But we'll probably have Cody and Salah holding down the wings. We'll have Ekitike up top. We'll have Wirtz in the middle. And then we'll go with so I'll go Ali, Frimpong, Gomez, Van Dijk, Kirkez, Grav. I think Curtis Jones deserves a start, to be honest with you. Simply because of the rotation and because it's only 2 days rest. I would go with Curtis Jones. You put in Dominic Szoboszlai, Wirtz, Salah, and Ekitike. Is that palatable for you?
I'll keep playing McAllister. I would.
Would. I'd play McAllister as well.
I think McAllister's sort of settling in now. He's sort of found his feet again, looking better every game and that. And yeah, man. Curtis, for me, he's played a lot of football recently. He's played a lot. So it's good to him to hit the bench sometimes as well. When he comes on, he's full of energy anyway. So that's the good thing about Curtis. When he comes on, he tries to. He ain't lazy. He's sort of active, you know. Maka for me as well, Jimmy. Yeah.
So what would be what is your what is
My
yours?
team?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go in Allison, goalkeeper for sure. Frimpong right. Gomez, Virgil, Kirkes. Gravenberch, McAllister sitting. The 3 roles for Wirtz and Sobotlai. And then you've got Ekatike and Salah up top. Yeah, that's how I'd play it.
Okay. How about not Jones, Maka, says Jimmy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be my team, the same as JK. Allison, Frimpong, Gomez, Van Dijk, Kirkes, Gravenberch, McAllister, Szoboszlai, Wirtz, Salah, Ekatike.
Mm-hmm.
So Cody doesn't get to
Cody
start.
misses out after scoring, like,
I know,
the
exactly.
other night, but, you know, good to bring off the bench. Good to still have someone on the bench as well.
Yeah.
Got Rio on the bench as well to use.
Chiesa, I'm not sure. 50-50, they're saying.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's at the back. We've got no subs. Like we're light for subs, like in defence, aren't we?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right.
When's Endo due to be back? Does anyone know?
I don't
He's
know.
back.
Oh,
He's
is
back.
he?
Mhm.
Well,
I
that
wouldn't
gives.
know because he doesn't get playing time. But yeah, he's back.
Same with Robbo. He's another one. Gives us potential option at centre back should we need it. But I just hope we don't. Don't want to see Gravenberch or bloody Robbo or Endo at centre half. Hopefully we'll get through till the end with what we've got.
Yeah, Endo was part of the lineup that went to Marseille.
Okay, well that's good news. Like anyway, it's Bodies, isn't it? Bodies. One of my favourite Sex Pistols songs. That Bodies. It's really good, that one. Yeah, but we need bodies, don't we? We need fit players. We need fit, like because we've lost a few players, haven't we? And the
I'm
bench
interested.
the bench is looking a bit inexperienced, isn't it?
No, I was just going to add that I'm interested to see how Bournemouth come out against us, considering I know Hylor is saying that they don't play in a low block, and he says maybe they should. But, you know, a lot of their width and pace and scoring presence came from Semenyo. Semenyo's not there any longer, so it should be interesting to see how they navigate against us. Because he was the one that gave us problems at Anfield. Yeah. Yeah, he was. $310 million. That's how much they've made this season.
I respected Iola as well. I think he's done brilliant for Bournemouth, considering the size of club they are. And they give him a few bob to bring in players like Evan Nielsen. But everything good that he's brought in has been taken out virtually now. Like all his top signings have been stolen off him. Like, and he's left with the players that were there before he came, plus a couple that he kept hold of. But he is a good coach. He's worked wonders for them. But hopefully the form they're in and the diminished state their squad is in due to outgoings will help us get 3 points. Should do. Better odds after the Marseille game. I'm expecting a decent performance. And dare I say, could we even get a clean sheet this weekend? Clean sheet in Marseille.
Dream a little dream. Jimmy thinks we can get a clean sheet. He's predicting 3-0. Should I say serves? I thought there were some other people that put in some scores. I didn't star them, so
I forget who their goalie is now because even Kappa got nicked, didn't he? Their goalie. to bloody Arsenal.
I think it's Petrovic, I want to say, or something like that. Hold on.
That's it,
Yeah,
Petrovic.
it's Petrovic. I don't see anyone else's score. I think the only score I saw was Jimmy's score. I thought there was another one that put someone else put in a score, but I don't see. Oh yeah, Red Armchair supporters saying 2-0.
I'm going with him. Bless up Abdul as well. I'm going to go with Red Armchair like the other time. So hopefully it's a 3-0 Red Armchair.
Yeah, predict 2-0 and then get 3-0. There you go. There you go. I like it. There you go. Abdul giving us a little music there. His favorite song is Changes by Tupac. That's a great song. We need big changes in the summer of 26. Oh, I like the segue there. I like the segue. Sorry, maybe knock over stuff here. The segue was good.
I don't reckon we need to offload a lot of people because at the end of the day, this is a new squad put together now. It needs to stick together. So, yeah. I don't think we need to sell a lot of players. Not really. Because, when you look at it defensively, Robertson, Kanate go, that's two major people from the back going.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, exactly. It's red armchair. I'll take a 2-0. Oh, I said I'll take the 3-0. Like, we're Liverpool fans at first, aren't we? I'd rather be wrong. It don't matter.
Yeah. Abdul says he's going with 2-2. He's going with the Desmond. I think that's what it means. 2-2 is his prediction. Hyler is pointing out that 365 million. Oh, that's dollars, I guess. Okay, that's different. That's a little bit different. $365 million for Bournemouth. Let's see. These are all the players Abdul wants this or believes, or either he wants them or believes will be out of the team come summertime. He's predicting Gomez, Kanate, Robbo, Simicast, Elliott, Jones, Salah, McAllister, and Endo. That's nine people. That's a lot of turnover. If they were to have that kind of turnover in the summer, that would virtually be a new team, basically.
That's too many there. But for me, Endo, Elliott.
I'm surprised you didn't put Endo in there because I think this is Endo's last season. Either this one or next season, I think. Oh, he did put Endo. My bad.
Yeah, so Endo, Simicast, Elliott, Kanate. Gomez, I'd keep 28.
He threw Chiesa there. Threw a little Italian seasoning up there too. There you go. It's a lot of players. Considering that we've had so much turnover already, that's a lot of turnover for a club to do in 2 years.
We sold a lot of people in the summer as well. Don't forget, youth players.
Yeah, that's what I see it.
Yeah,
that's a lot of players to be turning over and expecting to have like any bit of a fight in your team to compete for competitions. Unless if you're going to deal with that kind of turnover, then you certainly have to be prepared for a lot of respect the process type situation, You have to be prepared for that. That's what it would be. Well, what's your score prediction? You said 2-0. JK, what's your score prediction, Lee?
I'll say 2-0.
You say 2-0? Okay. All right. I am going to say that Liverpool will win this game 2-1. Okay. This coach has I don't pick over 2 too often. We've scored over 2. I'm not saying we haven't, but for some reason we 2 is like the magic number rather than 3, but 2 is the magic number for this coach for some reason. So I'll go 2-1. They'll have moments. Both teams will have their moments, but I just think Liverpool will get a penalty or something like that, and then also have like a moment or get like a set piece goal or something out of
It's another nail in his coffin if we don't win at this game against Bournemouth.
Yeah. Tyler Adams tearing his MCL is horrific to hear. I'm hoping that he can be back on the mend and be available for the U.S. men's national team by the summer. David Brooks, ankle, Will Dennis, ankle will all miss the match against Liverpool. Yes, they will. Yes, they
He's
will.
good. I'm glad he can't play. He's always been good and dangerous. He's dangerous.
Get on the floor. Danger.
Yeah, 2-0 would be nice to get a clean sheet away from home in the Premier League, and 3 points would be splendid. Spiffing. So that's hope it happens. I mean, it's about time we kept a clean sheet. About time we kept a clean sheet, isn't it, in the league?
Yeah, true.
I mean, the last time we did it was Leeds at Anfield, but we couldn't score either because we in that game, sadly. But we need a clean sheet for once. I just hope we can do it. We can do it in Marseille. I think do it at Bournemouth.
That display against Marseille would give the team a bit more confidence. You know what I mean? We went away to Arsenal as well. So we've done well away from home defensively and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Salah likes playing against Bournemouth. Yeah. And as what Helio says, they ain't got no senior players really on the bench as well. So Groupie looks cool. He scored a few goals. Groupie is one of their players.
Mm-hmm.
Son, I think he's good, but not enough goals.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to get the party started? That's what I wanted to ask you, yeah.
Who is going to start the party? Who is it? Not Miley Cyrus. Who's it going to be?
Virgil van Dijk.
Virgil van Dijk. All right. Okay. I have Mohamed Salah. Oh, Red Armchair Supporter says Mo too. I have Mohamed Salah.
Oh, go on. Okay.
Who do you have, Jet Lee? First goal scorer.
First goal scorer, I'll go for Ekitike.
Ekitike. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. I just have a feeling we're going to get a penalty in this game, and Salah will have to step up and bury it for us.
Yes. I think Hugo is due a goal, and he'll get one to start proceedings.
It's a smaller pitch there, so it might suit us more. I don't know.
What's it called? The Vitality Stadium, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, we need to have a vital performance full of vitality and vigor.
There you go.
You know, but we need a bit of venom as well. We need a bit of venom. We need to be venomous.
Vitality Stadium is wild. It sounds like they're.
I think it's a brand of margarine, if I'm correct. Vitality margarine that was sponsored by. So it's like what you put on your toast, I think.
Oh, okay. How do you pronounce it? You say margarine?
Yeah, margarine. It's not butter.
I know. We call it margarine here in America. That's why I was just wondering. Margarine. That sounds like you're like.
Oh yeah, you say margarine. Yeah, margarine. You say margarine.
Some say potato, tomato,
tomato. Let's go the whole thing off.
There you go.
But we need a bit of venom at the Vitality Stadium as well as vim and vigor, vivaciousness. That's also good. What else?
Well, it's better than what I thought it was a sponsor for. So I thought it was like Cialis or Cialis, I think it is, or like or Viagra, something like that. That's what I thought. Vitality Stadium was connected to.
I used to laugh at the one what Brentford's was called. It was called something like the GTEC Community Centre. It sounded to me like some gaff that had like a citizens' advice bureau there and everything, like the community centre. You know what I mean? Like,
I can see them say that though, Lee. I can see get your vitality back, and then they go with the.
You go to the GTEC.
And then you see a Cialis. You see like two people in the bathtub Cialis commercial or something like that. Oh man.
The stadium names have got to have funny, haven't they? Some of them, like there's some mad ones in the lower divisions. I think there's one, the Kit Kat Stadium, that amused me. That's a good one, the Kit Kat Stadium.
Yeah, I'm not even bringing up what actress would say, but that would be a weird. That'd be a weird one to go to. Oh, that'd be a crazy.
Doesn't love a Kit Kat. I love them, especially the 4-fingered ones rather than the 2-fingered ones. They're a nice munch, them Kit Kats.
Kit Kats are great. Yeah, Kit Kats are good. They're fun. They're good. They're a nice little treat. They're a nice little treat. All right, people. Before we get into trouble, or before we get like some type of like rating put on our show. Is there anything you wanted to like chop up before we shut down the convo here? At least for now. I'm not certain if anyone else was live. I know Brian was live at the same time as us, so he might be still live. He goes for like usually he's got vitality. He's
on some streaming via.
He's got vitality. His streams go 4 or 5 hours. There you go. Oh man. 4 or 5 hours later, yeah. What is it anything you guys want to talk about before we bounce?
Should we rename Anfield after a bar of chocolate?
What'd you say?
Should we rename Anfield after a bar of chocolate just for a laugh?
No.
What's Everton's? Everton's got a new name.
Yeah, call
it we have a new name?
Stadium or something like that?
I want a new name. Yeah. Everton have got one. I want one now.
Yeah, but Everton is horrible.
Yeah.
It's like what Everton, they called it. I would have just called it Goodison. I don't know why they just didn't just call it like that. The new Goodison or something like that. Why do they call it that?
No, that wouldn't have worked. That for me, that wouldn't have worked if I was a Blue. It had to be called something else when you move.
No, I reckon it would have worked, bro. Because for
that would have been great.
I'm just glad we've done Anfield up because we're staying at Anfield now. And it'll always
I have to say
named anything silly. But, if anyone out of the big clubs would name themselves after something silly for money, Man United would do that.
They'll do that.
I would have if Everton had called themselves or called their stadium the Benny Hill Stadium. I would have given them that.
That's it, Hill Dickinson. Well,
I think Dickinson, bro.
Yeah, I think there's a fella in who does antiques in Britain on the telly called Dickinson. David Dickinson.
I thought the
any relation to Angie? Any relation to Angie?
Everyone in Britain knows him like off the telly. He's quite funny as well. The funniest thing about him is though he conned an old woman like before he was on telly out of an antique and got done by the police for it. David Dickinson. So,
yeah, but bro, if you ask all the Evertonians, what do you want to call your stadium? Do you want to call it what it's called now? They'll be like, nah. I bet they hate that name.
Yeah, I don't know who either Hill or Dickinson are in this case. I'll have to Google it to find out who the Hill and Dickinson in particular are because I just don't know. They're definitely not players, I don't think.
Like for me, I'm not a big fan of naming your ground after your sponsor. Emirates. What's Man City?
Oh, you know why? Bill Dickinson is a law firm, apparently.
Oh, there you go.
So
They probably paid the big bucks,
they
didn't it, bro?
they bought the naming rights. So they're obviously if they have a law firm to have their rights on a stadium, that means they're a pretty big law firm.
When
Yeah, big
Arsenal
time,
went
bro.
from Highbury to the Emirates, it was like a bit weird, and then City to the Etihad instead of Main Roads. It was like, all right. So. Did you have to? Because you're not have just like not done it.
The law firm pays $10 million to Everton every year for the rights to have their name on the stadium.
Ah, right, it's a law firm.
That's what there you go then.
Well, I did say
What's 10
David
million there?
Dickinson
You
has
can't even get a
rushed the
midfielder for
law.
that.
What's that?
What's 10 million nowadays? You can't even get a midfielder's leg with that, can you?
But I mean, like,
Spurs has
what
done
is
all
that?
right for
That's
them,
just wild.
actually.
That means that this law firm has to have $10 million worth of money to shell out every year just to say that that's your stadium. Like,
Mad.
they must do a lot of business because it says
Mhm.
it's a local. It says it's a local law firm in Liverpool.
Oh, it's a local firm. It's not American, no?
No, it says oh no, it does. They do work internationally, but it does say something about the firm was founded in Liverpool in 1810. And a
You must be an Everton fan.
a predecessor firm's founder was an Everton chairman. Wow. So I guess one of the chairmen was connected. One of the Everton chairmen was connected to the law firm.
Maybe it's the Liverpool Evertonians who run the business. I thought, hey, why not? Yeah, fair play.
Fair play.
Just not a big fan of the name.
Yes, there's the partnership leverages the firm's local roots and the stadium's global platform, making it a significant commercial agreement and a symbol for the city's future. That's right. The Benny Hill Stadium. Big up. Oh, what is it called? No, just joking. Just joking. There you go.
We've got to go
Benny
there
Hill,
as well, don't we?
Benny Hill music where they run around and like
It made me laugh when
chasing each other.
Snoop Dogg came to England. He was on this program, The Wares, and he said, he said he was into Benny Hill. Mark Lamar said to him, "What bit of Benny Hill made you laugh?" And he went, "When he slapped a little bald fella on the head."
Yeah.
Said that he buzzed off that bit.
That guy was funny. He was funny though. He looked like Popeye's dad or something.
Oh yeah, he was called Jackie Wright. His name, I think it's John Wright, his real name, but he was called Jackie Wright, that little ball fella from Benny Hill who got slapped on top of the head and like ran round and like I think he was gummy as well. Like he had no teeth, made him look even funnier, and he was dead small.
Oh. Look, I'm gonna say if JK and Lee don't have anything to say to you guys to end the show, I'll say this then. For the first time in months, and I will emphasize in months, I can say that I am optimistic about our opportunities going into this game. Very interested to see what this coach does going into this Bournemouth fixture. It's an opportunity for us to gain a little momentum, not only in for the league, but also to gain a little momentum for our return fixture, or our return to Champions League against Karabakh at home. We need to end that run well. We need to get a W at Anfield against Karabakh. So maybe they've turned a corner. I'm not going to be presumptuous and say we've done so just yet. I've got to see some W's get put up on the board. But it feels like maybe we could have a good week. Bournemouth away is the kind of game that tells you the truth about this club, and we shall see what it really means. because it's an away fixture, a type of game that we have not done well, no matter what the competition is, whether it's top of the league or bottom of the league, we have not done well away. So I'm going to say, I'm hoping that you'll all join with us tomorrow. We're going to do a post-match. We're not going to do a roll call because I might be actually on my flight to LA tomorrow. So, by the time the game starts, at least, but I will be landed by the time the game starts, I'll be landed in LA. So,
sorted, bro.
yeah,
Have a good one. And
yeah.
like now it's going to be Saturday now in half an hour where I am. So it's going to be happy birthday in half an hour for you, bro.
Yeah. There you go. You
know what I mean? So I hope you have a good birthday, bro. Get a win. As I said, celebration 2 times on a Saturday. Your birthday and Liverpool win.
There you go.
Everything good. Everything good.
Oh, what it's like to be 21 all over. That's what I'll be like.
I was going to say, 25, 26, bro?
20, 21, 20, 21, 22. How about that to make it even easier? Because no one puts 21 on their ID. That's just not believable. All right, people. Do you guys want to say peace out, Lee? Do you want to say peace out?
Yeah, cheers everyone. Everyone in the chat. Thanks for being there, turning up. See you all later.
Okay. JK, you want to say peace
bro.
out?
Yeah, likewise, bro. Bless up the chat as always. Everyone in the chat, man. Everyone's good. And enjoy the game tomorrow, lads. Are we going to do a roll call?
You guys can do a roll call if you want to put it together, certainly.
Okay.
So there might be a roll call. Just keep that notification open. It'll be hosted by Lee and JK and maybe even Alante. But I will see you for the post match for certain. I'll definitely I'm gonna try to set something up with the LA with the OLSC, which means Official Liverpool Supporter Club. I'm going to try to set something up to maybe get some reactions from the crowd there, because that's where I'm going to watch the game tomorrow. So we will talk to you guys tomorrow. I hope everyone is well. I hope that you stay well, and I hope to see you all tomorrow. But other than that, as always, up the Reds each and every time, and you'll never walk alone. Peace, my brothers and sisters. See you tomorrow.